began, it was quite unorthodox. In the part of the teachers, it's not the norm to have class facing our laptops, our devices. And to us students as well, it's not normal.
Then we were very new to the online schooling because all of us were used to the face-to-face classes. Teachers were very captivating as all of us were very new to the changes.
You have a dead air in the class when the teacher is trying to present something. If there is that long-term dead air for 5 to 10 minutes because the teacher is trying to identify, the teacher is trying to present something, no, I could really see that students are leaving the class.
This is my first year as a faculty in LaSalle University, and almost everything was new to me. Back then, I was worried about how I can easily cope up with the delivery of instruction and the use of the Canvas learning management system. But with the help of the in-service training and the assistance provided by my colleagues, little by little, I was able to observe significant changes in my teaching learning experience.
I've learned to push through with the creative concepts that I had in mind, inspired by the innovative outputs or samples presented last INSET 2021.
Personally, I was able to make my lessons more engaging with the help of the different tools and applications that were introduced to us during the in-service training.
This usage enables me to assist students in the learning process. The active participation of students positively affects the submission of activities which are on time and of excellent quality.
It lightens my work in terms of class preparations. It helps me to be more competitive in achieving my desires, to make my discipline easier to understand by my students.
I observed that my classes became more lively, engaging, and more student-centered. Those things that I learned made my classes more interesting, and the students are not bored anymore.
There are significant changes I have perceived in my TOA this school year compared to last school year 2020 to 2021. First of all, I have observed that the time limit for the TOA is now 40 minutes instead of 25 minutes, which was the time limit before.
With the extended TOA sessions, teachers no longer have to borrow time from other teachers to have longer sessions. And extended TOA sessions allow teachers to use this time to discuss topics instead of what would happen last year, where teachers would use the time to answer students' questions because of the limited time they were given. As teachers were able to discuss more things since the time allocated for TOA sessions are longer, we would be able to tackle and discuss a topic deeper, like a regular classroom.
They are now much more very inclined and familiar to the different online platform features, just like how we were able to learn more about it as well.
Teachers recently became more interactive, wherein they have provided interesting ways like breakout sessions, online applications, and such to have an effective learning, and in order also to encourage the students to continue learning and grasp the lessons. And with that being said, a lot of students have finally decided to join the TOA.
During synchronous classes, I often incorporate brainstorming activities. With the help of the digital tools such as Slido and Google Jamboard, my students can now simultaneously share their ideas and feedback is prompt.
One concrete example was the layout for my module. So I had it in mind that Canvas could surely execute HTML functions. So now all of my subjects have tabs and links on them, which makes it more interactive, and of course it gives something new.
These changes are evident in my teaching itself and by receiving feedback from my students. There were some who still struggled with the different tools, but most of them were happy because of course they had fun while learning, particularly the quizzes and the peer deck.
I have embedded numerous digital tools such as simulations, screencasts, educational games in my Canvas module design. These strategies made online learning more meaningful and enjoyable.
Their quick and active participation are some of my bases that my knowledge given to them and my wide patience in preparing my lesson are evident in the eyes of my students.
I received comments like they like the activities, the quiz games that I gave. Especially in math, they say that the screencasting, the online quiz games, and the file embeds were very helpful to them.
Based on my own experience, it had a significant impact on my learning to the point where I could no longer take notes because our instructor would record the TOA and I could just simply go back to the recording and take notes during my free
Through
time.
these changes, it has assisted me in communicating or open to others for help. The changes in learning was done through a unique style.
The 40-minute TOA enables me to listen attentively to my teachers or mentors who are discussing topics, participate in the discussions, and share some concerns related to the topic. For instance, there are some parts of the topic that I find difficult to understand. I have the opportunity to raise them easily.
Those moments where we use quizzes and then there's the thrill of doing a quiz together with your classmates feels like there's a connection between us, even if it's just through a screen. Learning in these times are hard, especially since I can't see my classmates physically. But it's in these small moments that I feel that we're just like in a classroom. And most importantly, knowledge is free.
We use online platform for group discussion, especially now that we have research and we are geographically apart with my group mates. We also utilize Google Drive for the secure organization of our files. And during our TOA, it is much more interactive than it were before, which really drawn us students into attending because we also miss our interactions with our teacher.
There is already that smooth pavement of learning, a smooth process of giving learning from teacher to student. And I could also see, from the teacher's part, that they really did their best in terms of applying, learning, using different games, for example, which is a very I would not say it should be used, but it's really fun. It's a way of really putting our learning into something that is not boring.
Seeing the number of students participating in each TOAS inspires and motivates me in a way that I can also think of participating whenever it is a must and a time to speak. Moreover, it encourages me to listen to the discussions, participate actively, and it assists me in better understanding the lessons and managing my time.
I was able to share these changes to my co-faculty members through our departmental meetings that serve as a platform in sharing our best practices in the online teaching learning process.
And perhaps also through everyday sharings, conversations, since we are reporting to school daily as a department.
We also talk about learning strategies that we recently discovered and collaboratively assess the usage of the strategy in our future teachings.
Our departmental meetings also give us a room for imparting our weaknesses and strengths to our co-teachers. That will give them an idea that some of our positive and negative experiences can also be a basis for improvement.
Maybe through random conversation only as we gather in school. And there are times when our coordinator will ask during kumustahan, then we share about it.
I was not the only one who attempted in hiding features and exploring basic HTML. So for those who had done that too, we once consulted each other for troubleshooting. Like for example, how do you do this? Do you know why it doesn't work? So it's because probably you must do this first. So I was also learning from them.
The internet has now become the primary mode of communication, Miss. I'd be able to share these changes with my classmates and fellow students through Messenger or probably via Facebook or Instagram.
I was able to share these changes with my classmates and fellow students as the president of Junior Financial Executives. Having this authority leads me to promote attending every TOAS with my fellow students by having short discussions, telling them at the best need to cope up with these changes.
And due to the more insightful and engaging discussion, I was able to share my insights with my classmates and fellow students, especially when they needed some assistance or help.
I cannot say things on behalf of all students, for I know that some students may find it hard and some may find it much easier. There are things in online classes that are obviously different from what we formerly knew. But the one thing that remains constant in all these is that the students' desire to willingness to learn is there. Some thoughts and things used in online classes though is that using third-party apps does create fun time for students, but for some students who only use mobile phone for learning and run on mobile data, which often is fit for just TOA sessions, can become a burden rather than an asset for learning.
In spite of this pandemic, education is not stopped. And for me, that's a miracle. That's a miracle. And appreciating the hard work the teachers are doing. So I would just like to say thank you. Thank you for that. Second is by not wasting the efforts of our faculty and staff. No? By not wasting their efforts, by really going into class, by really taking into heart what we put in the bag after our TOAS. Thank you.
LSU, reshaping futures.